Hey Waldport High, welcome to this week's edition of Waldport Weekly. I'm Dale.
And I'm Sylvie, here to bring you the news that you actually want to hear. Let's dive right in.
The
Waldport Weekly starts now. First up, big news from next door. Newport is considering a new ICE facility. That's immigration and customs enforcement for anyone who just woke up. The proposals got residents talking, with some worried about community impact and others saying it could bring jobs. Here's Rowan with more.
There's been talk of an ICE facility coming to Newport, Oregon for a while now. Here's what we know. On November 4th, a federal defense contractor had messaged the city asking to lease 4 acres of land in South Beach at the Newport airport. Then, on November 12th, an emergency city council meeting was held to discuss the ICE facility. Around 800 people attended that night. Some went with their families and friends to hear the news. It was confirmed that Newport was being looked at to host the facility. As of right now, the customs enforcement has been withdrawn due to legalities and uproar in the community. Out of the 800 attendants, there was one teen girl whose words brought the crowd to tears. Her name is Abril Aldama. One day, she was picked up from school early and told that her father had been picked up on September 17th by 4 vehicles and 6 ICE agents, 4 of whom were masked. Neither she nor her family knew where her dad was. She spoke about how her father was upstanding in the community and played an integral role in her family. She finished her speech with an incredibly powerful statement: "I'm here to represent my family. No one deserves to go through what my family and I are going through right now."
Rocky. Yes. It's not here. Inside, same thing. For the kids, they put it like the office in there. They hit the pregnant, they get arrested. What's going to happen with the kids? Or adoption. Yeah, adoption, or maybe the DHS taking them and not have parents anymore. That's sad. It's like there's a lot of people in, plus like the business though too. Because there's a lot of people like Latinos in Newport, they can affect there too. Maybe like they see like we starting putting the office on and maybe I try to do some of that, So, and then putting some basic equipment
Also, shout out to Charlie and his cool Uncle Rocky for doing this interview for us from Antonio.
A lot of families in our area rely on SNAP, and unfortunately, some or all benefits have been delayed this month. If you or someone you know is affected, local food banks like South Lincoln Resources are stepping up to help.
Now let's move on from serious delays to something seriously wild on the beach. William reports cleanup could get a little messy.
Of course. What do you think caused it to be to end up in the water? They spend money. So apparently the whale was partially entangled in crab line, but when they looked at videos and pictures and then eyewitness reports, apparently there wasn't enough entanglement to justify the whale getting beached. So something else must be going on that caused that young whale to end up on the beach. Marine mammals can strand themselves for a variety of reasons. So they're going to do a necropsy, right? So take it apart and look at the whale and figure out, was it sick? Was it hungry? Did it get confused? Was it separated from, its little pod? Yeah.
What are some safety concerns that it might have for example, was catching the
Well, like any wild animal, right? The more people that are around it, the more stressed out it's going to be. I know I saw some pictures of big floodlights on the whale, right? Those bright lights were not helpful, right? And actually, I know that we all care and love for the whale, but the most helpful thing would be to give it space, right? And then let the few trained rescuers that were, have dealt with strandings before help the whale get back in. So, yeah.
And now, Omni's new segment of Game Review.
Welcome to New Game Plus. This is a segment dedicated to new video game releases, which we'll review across a 5x5 system. Games will be given a score of up to 25, with 5 points available across 5 categories, which are 1. Ease of play. We'll be checking out how difficult the game is and how long it remains a challenge. 2. Visuals. We'll be taking a look at the graphics and style of the game from an artistic standpoint. 3. Soundtrack. Outside the game context, is the music still good? 4. Value. Does the game's quality match its price tag? And 5. Gameplay. This is where we'll talk about bugs, weird controls, and general function of the game. Afterwards, we'll total up the scores and give the game its total rating. We'll also conduct interviews with people who've played the game to get their opinions, as well as discuss other information about the game. We look forward to sharing some new games with you.
And finally, the Rogue has been a household name here in Oregon and beyond, so it came as a big surprise when we learned they were closing their doors without warning. Cassidy investigates a little more on why this happened.
Rogue Brewery has permanently shut down. On November 14th, Rogue closed all of its operations in Oregon after 37 years of business. The 2 restaurant locations and large brewery headquarters on the Newport Bayfront included. The sudden closure is because the company owed over $500,000 in rent to the Port of Newport and over $30,000 in other taxes. Rogue was founded in 1988 in Ashland, Oregon, and moved to Newport in 1989. Over the years, it became one of Oregon's better-known craft breweries. But despite its name recognition, that apparently wasn't enough to sustain profitability under current market conditions. Both Rogue locations in Newport were major employers of people of all positions and ages. New and existing Rogue employees were laid off without notice. With winter and the holiday season approaching, losing a job is detrimental for many local families. Multiple sources have viewed the closure as a warning sign for other craft breweries. Rising costs, lower demand, and other economic pressures are making it hard even for established names to survive. Many questions still remain. Will there be a new brewing company there? And is the building going to be for sale soon? Back to you, Sylvie.
That's a wrap for this week's Waldport Weekly. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow us online and submit your story ideas. I'm Dale.
And I'm Sylvie, reminding you to stay curious, stay kind, and stay awesome. See you next week. Waldport Weekly signing off.